Hey folks, Trace Monk here. Um, we are about to start adding blocks to our puzzle solving set in the Talos Principle by walking into number 2 here and getting that guy right there. First though, we have another terminal to use. Alright. From Frank Ngatai to Miles Ngatai and Dan Ngatai. Subject IAN. I thought it said Ian there for a second. On my first day at the Institute for Applied Pneumatics. On the way to work, I'm terrified. What if they don't like me? What if they're all geniuses and I'm a complete buffoon? Maybe they were just kidding about letting me work there. Trembling, I walk in, and right at the entrance there's a life-size poster of Jeff Goldblum. What the hell? Then I get it. Institute for Applied Pneumatics. IAN. Dr. Ian Malcolm from the Jurassic Park movies. Jeff Goldblum. Dr. Sarabhai shows up, smiling. We were trying to find a cool acronym back when the Institute was founded, she says. INAN, IAPN, INAPNO. It all sounded stupid, but we didn't just want to call it IAN because, well, that's a name. Then somebody made a joke about calling it Jeff, and it kind of stuck. So now we're officially called IAN, but if you hear anyone referring to Jeff, that's our internal name, I guess. Bloody geeks. After that conversation, I wasn't so scared anymore. Athena analysis. User Alex16 added 4 notes. Note 1. Novel's first sentence, she woke up in an impossible place knowing nothing, signifies more than the beginning of another amnesia-based mystery, though we should not go so far as to read the entire work as allegory. Rather, while taking the science-fictional novice at the core of the narrative at face value, we should... Bleh. Note 2. Having no inherent knowledge of the nature of the world, forced to rely on what we are told by others and what our own subjective flawed senses tell us. More things. Social reality, belief, and objective reality, matter, come into conflict. Note 3. When in Chapter 16, A Second Awakening in the Kingdom of Artemis, the protagonist questions her mentor on the... Note 4. A more meaningful synthesis, or a more meaningful interpretation can only be achieved through synthesis of... Talos Principle.txt. It's going to explain the whole thing to us. Archive 260 BCE F-F12, Straton of Stegera. Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of the liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If, then, a machine may have all the properties of a man and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics, yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood. Okay. Taking a quick little look around here before we go running into any of the things. I spotted actually right over here. No, not that. Although, what is that?
When I was a little girl, one of our teachers, Mrs. Higgins, taught us to make a time capsule. Write letters to the future so one day we could remember.
Hold on. What? Sorry about that. Door on the house was loose and open, apparently.
Remember what it was like to be children. I thought it was stupid, so I didn't do it, which I really regret. So, I guess I'm gonna make one now. Bury it in the archive instead of under a tree. I don't know if anybody will ever find it, but somehow it seems important to keep talking, to keep thinking, for as long as I can.
I can't tell if the documents on the terminals are all that's left from a larger archive or are carefully designed to communicate some hidden truth. I'm going to guess it's intended to look like the former, but actually is the latter. Maybe not on the part of the game itself, but on the part of... the game designers. What are you? Another terminal? You look slightly more ominous because you're like black and have glowing blue parts. Cannot load archive. Milton, John. No, 1667 CE F547 or 457. John Milton, isn't that Paradise Lost or something? The day I oft remember when from sleep I first awaked and found myself reposed under a shade of flowers, much wondering where and what I was, whither, whence thither brought and how. Unknown error. Topic 3. One day you discover that you are not a human being, but a machine. Your life was so far was real. No one controlled you or programmed you to behave in some specific way. Your physical and mental capacities are identical to those of an organic human being, but you were created in a lab. No one except you knows about this. Your family, your friends, they all think you're a regular human being like yourselves. You could continue to live your life. How do you react? Pay attention to these questions. Does your concept of yourself change? Are you the same person you thought you were? Does your understanding of the world itself change? Do you reveal the information to others, or do you keep it to yourself? Why? 1,500 to 2,000 words. 26th is the final deadline. It's like a philosophy assignment. Apparently from January of 2019. From Bob Rakowski to 108 separate recipients. Grar. All these calm people are driving me mad. Have they all suddenly turned into Buddha or something? I didn't know the world had such reserves of serenity, though these latter-day Gautamas are at least being somewhat realistic. You know what's even worse? Those paranoid nutters who are building bunkers and collecting guns. What are they gonna do? Shoot something. Though I have to admit the overall response has been much better than I ever anticipated, to the point where I might be moved by the beauty of humanity if I wasn't such a grumpy old fart. This minority of total idiots is really messing up my final days. Anyway, the reason I'm writing is because I refuse to believe in scenarios with absolutely no solutions. If we all put our heads together, we can figure something out. It'll be crazy, but crazy is better than dead. Crazy is what we do best on this planet. So possibly there was a bad oh, hey, that one is not being read by the auto reader. I'm going to pull out my phone, and this isn't really helpful for you guys to see, but can pull out my phone and scan this and see what it says. There are secrets everywhere, sometimes within our very words. I glimpse them, but my eyes cannot read them. How can this be? Uriel 4 V48.2.1073F, which I will note that apparently Uriel is one of the recurring things, or one of the recurring characters that shows up in this, and very often actually has something to do with stars. Well, we're not going to look too hard for stars right now. Although if we see any, we'll try to work out how to get them. Gotta say, this game is really beautiful and runs really well. Hello, other island over there, and other island over there. I wonder if it's possible to swim to you. Other islands. Of course, maybe that's actually how all of this stuff that we've been going to is structured. That there are these little individual islands that we can go among. Anyway, we are actually after some yellow pieces. So, let's go after some officially listed things here. Nope. Let's get back to our signs. Yeah. Yellow L is this way. This way? Okay, over here. Suicide mission. Oh, you know what? I don't really think it's a suicide mission, but you know. Jam that. Turn it on. Unjam it. And then jam that. It's not a suicide mission for us, it's a suicide mission for the mine. So that we can get back here to this sigil. Thank you very much. Okay. I do like that the signs mark what you've done and haven't done and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. We have another piece that we can get out of 3. Let's grab that one. And then we'll have to move on to somewhere else. Yeah, we want... Nope, nope. Okay, we want to go this way. Locked me up, swallowed the key. Yeah, I actually saw this one last night. Not because I've played this part before. We have like a mine or something that's back there? No, no, we have like a turret. Oh, we have a couple of turrets actually. We also have keys. Yeah. No, this was in the Giant Bomb Quick Look. Or actually, it wasn't a quick look, it was an unfinished, because I think at the time they did this, this wasn't quite released. It was one of the full versions, but it wasn't... over and out. Okay. That was quick and easy. Relatively painless. Okay, we need 2 more pieces. Looks like we can get them here, and we will have to use connectors. We can't get any of them in 6. Or 5. Is that 2 stars? Okay, yeah. For some reason it looked like the star had a requirement below it or something. I don't know what the red's for. Maybe the red is for something behind that. And you know what? I bet when I was out there looking at those islands, I bet this is not just showing us kind of like a network net map, but I'd almost bet that this is showing us, like, if I'm on island 1 and I look out this way, I see island 2 and A and 7. I wonder if that really does directly correspond to that map like that. Well, alright then. On to 4. Nope, we have a terminal. We have a terminal right next to us, right here. Part 2 of the certification program has now been generated. Part 2 has been designed to test the consistency of some of your outlier responses in the previous round. You will be presented with a series of statements. Please indicate your agreement where appropriate. Yes, let's begin. 1 of 7. Since animals can be persons, a machine could never be a person. You know what? No, I disagree. A person is under no authority other than that to which they consent. Yes, I do agree with that. Quality of life of persons ought to be maximized. Yeah. Value is discovered. Yeah, broadly agree with that. Persons deserve the talents they were born into. The liberty of persons ought to be maximized. Yeah. Value is created. Yes. Verification is now complete. You will receive a notification when your user profile has been generated. Press any key to exit. And I realize I kind of contradicted myself. Value is generated, value is created. But part of that's kind of how I feel about it. You know, value is can be discovered and it can be created. Progress rep 1. Progress report 1. What here? Oh, while you were trying to spray your thing? Oh. So, are you now getting sealant up against your shirt? No. I'm not live, but I'm recording. No, actually, right now, so this conversation will go in with it. My wife had painted a ceramic snowman and was sealing it, and it just started to rain outside where it was drying. So she's not really sure what its state is right now. We got this progress report from Nadia Sarabhai to the Ian mailing list. Hi all, everything's been moved to the EL facility. EL, maybe that's related to the whole Elohim thing? I know it's been sad to leave the good old Jeff building behind, but it makes sense for us to be on site, especially as there may be severe power outages in the coming weeks. Arcadie's team are already working on something, but you really don't need to worry about the teams getting in each other's way. The facility is genuinely humongous. Let's get this show on the road. I'm not running a cam right now. Mail error. So this is looks like this one is dated from before Alexandra came on. So June 3rd from Arcadie to 504. I'll keep this short. You all know me, so you know that I know what I'm talking about. I realize that you're all working on projects meant to somehow avert some big disaster and find a solution. I believe that we preserve the non-biological components of yeah, this has got to be like ASCII. ASCII to text converter. I want to convert ASCII numbers to text. Well, no, I don't want. Let's see, ASCII to hex. I want to go the other way. Yeah, here we go. 6.5. 6.8. 6F. C 6.4 2C Ah. 20 49. I note too that parts of this, the second part of the second paragraph and the part of the first part of the third are a repetition of each other, or at least a partial repetition. 6065722073. Yeah. 49206372 6561 7465 7720 6865 617665. I'm not sure I got that entirely right there. 6174. Ah, no. 7465. Two zero six E. Right, 637265 72656120 65686F 6C 642C 2049 206372 656174 65. Okay, so the second 65 needs to follow 206 E. Five. Yeah, okay, so we have like broadly religious text inserting itself here in part of this. Because that text says, "Behold, I create new heaven." So it's like, "Behold, I create new heaven." I wonder if it actually continues directly on from this stuff. 4, 6, F. Seven, 2, C. No, it doesn't continue straight on. Now, I'm not going to waste any more time right now converting that, but like I was suspecting, that's not gobbledygook. That's actually ASCII text inserting itself. I believe that preserve the non-biological components of not in terms of immediately. You'll find the details of my proposal in the attachment, but the short version is global undertaking. Beginnings. Straton of Tagara on Beginnings fragment. It is the grave error of many philosophers, not only of the Athenian schools, but also of many others, that they begin not with the observation of the cosmos as it surrounds us, but with a conclusion already in mind. And often that conclusion is that the world was created ideal and mankind itself the greatest creation of the gods. Yet neither the world nor the gods owe mankind perfection. It is arrogance itself to presume so, and contrary to all methods of philosophy. The honest philosopher seeks only the truth even if it bears no comfort. He must begin by assuming, as Socrates said, that all he knows is that he knows nothing. Yep. So apparently part of our data corruption problem that we have is possibly Elohim trying to insert himself into the setup here. Regardless, next time we will go get these sigils, or at least get the 2 sigils that we need right now. This has been Atreus Monk, and I'll see you next time.